Wake Forest, after going back and watching the video, again, did a lot of really good things. Like we talked about Saturday after the game, one of the biggest positives was the fast start, and we knew coming in there and a noon kickoff that was going to be important to really have our guys ready and focused, and I felt like they did a good job of that. I felt like overall we threw and caught the ball very well, did some good things, and then continued to do a good job in the running game. Obviously the big improvements, the 2 turnovers, one there on the fumble. Kelly's just got to get it locked away, and then on the interception, he kind of let the corner bait him into that a little bit. Only gave up 1 sack, that was on the fumble, but we did have some quarterback pressures we want to clean up, and had some other big plays we kind of left on the table there, but a lot of good things to teach from. Really pleased with the amount of guys that were able to play meaningful reps. I think I went back, we had 26 offensive players that played 12 or more plays, and that game was a legitimate 4-quarter game, so that's really good, especially when you're going to have opportunities. It's a long season, and to have as many guys, offensive line, I think I saw the stat 8 of the offensive linemen played 30 snaps or more, and probably not too many people that have the luxury to be able to do that, and that's just going to help us as we go through. And then also really pleased we got 11 guys with catches, and I believe we had 8 guys with 2 or more catches, and so really doing a good job spreading the ball around. A little bit about Syracuse. They do a really good job on defense, probably the most complex next to Boston College defense that we played this year. They bring pressures and blitzes about 48% of the time, so they're always going to have guys trying to get in the backfield, and they also do a really good job with the coverages behind it. A lot of times when people are bringing a lot of pressure and blitz, that you really get 1 or 2 coverages behind it, and these guys are play a lot of combo coverage. They mix it up, show you a lot of different looks, so it'll be very important this week that everybody's on the same page with all the different looks that we're going to get from them. And then also just about Kelly, obviously going to let Coach Sweeney kind of be the one voice this week, talking about his update of where he is. But our offensive guys are confident. We're ready to go. New week, and Coach Sweeney's challenge to our guys has really been to sprint through the finish line right here before the open week. We've done a lot of good things in the first 6 games, and really want to put an exclamation point here on the last game before we take a little break for the open week. So with that, I'll open it up.
Coach, you had a couple of nice catches the other day. He admitted that when he first went out there against Penn State, he was a little bit nervous. You're getting the sense that he feels a lot more comfortable out there.
Yeah, I think that's the normal progression for a young guy that's kind of feeling it out. I mean, T has, just like the other guys as well, Amari Rogers, TJ Chase. We got some very talented young guys that have made a bunch of big plays in practice against some very talented DBs that we go against every day, and they haven't had a lot of opportunity, but I think that was good Saturday for him to get in there. I thought it was awesome. Maybe the second drive of the game, DeAndre Overton goes in, makes a big-time catch. I mean, those are things as coaches that you get excited about, because it's not always just about that one game. It's about the big picture. And we got a lot of guys that I feel like can help us here as we get ready down the second half of the season. But, yeah, I'm very pleased with where T is, and I think he's just going to get more and more comfortable. He was a little bit uneasy after one of them. He thought that they were booing him. And some of the players had to tell him on the sideline they were actually saying T, kind of like they used to say Nuke. So he said, why are they booing me? So you'll figure it out. But we had a good laugh about that. But yeah, I'm really pleased with where those young guys are.
Is it a deal where you guys rep your quarterbacks enough that as you go through the week, you're probably not going to have 100% clarity on Kelly later in the week, but is it set up to where it shouldn't be a big deal if you've got to go with a different guy because of the way you're ready?
Well, I think the first thing is, like a lot of positions where we are offensively, we feel really good about our depth at quarterback. And, whether Kelly's able to play this week or not, there's going to be times throughout the season, where he may not be available. And so, number one, as a coaching staff and as an offense, we have a lot of confidence in those other guys because of what they've done in practice, and then getting some opportunities in the games. Have done some good things. But, the way that you have to practice, because you don't know, especially with a guy like Kelly that, we expect to run around, do a lot of things. So really all through fall camp because of the competition, and then even once Kelly won the job, we roll those guys. And, both Zarek Cooper and Hunter Johnson, they've been rolling with that second group really since spring practice. And so they've got a lot of experience, up there with that group. So, I mean, obviously you want your starter in there if he can be in there. But we've definitely had other situations in the past where if our starting quarterback was out, there would be a pretty drastic drop-off. And, we really like the depth that we have behind Kelly. But to be honest, the prep and practice and all that is not much different this week than it has been in weeks past.
A lot of people wonder how you've been able to stockpile these super talented quarterbacks. Is this one of those moments that you point to saying, it's just one play here, one play there that, could bring you an opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can look this year. There's plenty of examples. A lot of guys, it's no guarantee that you're going to keep your starter healthy, and really it's at every position. And I think the good news is I think we do a good job in recruiting. We have a lot of things to sell at Clemson that, to be honest, the football piece and the depth chart, that's a lot lower on the totem pole of things, the reasons why guys choose to come to Clemson. And I think that's a really good spot to be in. But there's no doubt we've got a proven track record that Coach Swinney believes in playing a lot of guys. I mean, I love getting these stats and sending these out to the other wide receivers and running backs and all offensive linemen, because then you tell them, hey, you don't have to come in and be in the top 3 to play as a wideout at Clemson. You got to come be in the top 9. We're going to have 10 in the room, so if you can't do that, then you need to go somewhere else anyways. And so they see that, and these guys, the only way that you get better is to really play. Obviously, practice can take you to a certain point, but getting those game reps is very valuable. And Coach Swinney has done a good job of creating a culture where we are able to play multiple people when time warrants.
At the halfway point, what are some things you're pleased with and some things you still like to see improve?
Yeah, and that's really what we'll. Because this is a short week, we play in 4 days, and then we have 15 days before we play again. That'll be a big study. We'll do a lot of cross analysis and self-scout and those type of things. But, just off the top of my head, number one, being able to run the ball. I mean, we've been able to throw the ball around here for a long time, and I really look back at the success we've had the last 2 years. I credit a lot of that, obviously, Deshaun is incredible and was a great quarterback and leader, but we've had some really good quarterbacks around here too, and some really good wideouts and all that. But I think the offensive line, their maturation the last 2 years, and for us to really be able to run the ball, even against teams that don't want you to run the ball, I think has probably, been one of the biggest positives. I wouldn't say it's a surprise. I mean, we felt confident with that group coming in, and obviously losing Wayne and the other backs stepping in have done a good job. And then I've been really pleased how, Kelly's managed everything. I mean, to come in as a first-year starter and the type of shoes that he had to fill, and, each week the numbers are about the same as where we were in the past with a really good one that walked out the door. So really pleased with that. And then, I'm pleased with the chemistry, the attitude of our offensive guys. Very unselfish. I mean, it's in the year 2017 with everything that's going on, that's uncommon. Coach Swinney always talks about the quote that's on the wall: when you do the common things in an uncommon way, then you can attain the attention of the world. And it's uncommon in the year 2017 to be unselfish, and to be maybe some weeks it may be some wide outs, some weeks it may be running back. There's tight ends. The tight ends had one catch last week the way it went. It was Cannon on his touchdown. But the guys have truly bought into the idea that the number one goal is to win the game. and there'll be a time and place for everybody to have their opportunities. So, big picture, I'm really pleased with that. Things to correct. I think we're leaving some big plays out there. There's some big play layups that are out there, and for whatever, sometimes it may be, we missed a throw, and sometimes we may have good protection, good throw, and have a drop, and then sometimes, it may have a guy in his face, and so that's just everybody, really being accountable for that. And when you're saying everybody, you're not just talking about the 11. We're talking about the 26 guys that are in there. Understand that the standard doesn't change, and so, I'm pleased where we are after 6 games, but I feel like there's another level that we can reach and that we're close to getting to, and that'll be our goal. And really, that's our challenge this week is, man, let's finish with our best game. Whatever our best game as a team and as an offense looks like, let's finish that way before this open week and we get a chance to regroup.
Is there any secret to the way you guys, that you and Tony were running the show, you guys scored like half the time the first time you had the ball? Obviously, you want to try to score on every play, but I mean, you always give the team a good start, but you can score early.
Yeah.
Is it just a matter of coming out of the locker room better prepared to go than the other team?
I think, we do script our opening 9 plays, and we take a lot of time as an offensive staff. I mean, it's not Tony and myself sitting back there deciding what we're going to call. There's about 12 people in that room, and we take a good hour to decide our first 9 plays. And then we also get some of the players' feedback, what they like, and they're, maybe things they'd like to do a little bit different.